Okay, Christina here to listen to some music, and today's music selection is High Hopes by Pink Floyd. This is the live version of the song from the Pulse concert in 1995. High Hopes apparently is from the Division Bell album that came out in 1994. If any of you have watched any of my other Pink Floyd reactions here on the channel, you will already know that I am getting to really love the music from this group. I've already done the full album listening of The Dark Side of the Moon, loved it, and then a few others, individual songs here and there, and it's been fantastic. Some of my absolute favorites on the channel. So I'm really excited about this one. But it's not just about being excited about music and completely just getting introduced to music. Why else are we here? I am a professional classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor. So we dive into all of the details of this music, how it was composed, the instrumentation, and also why do we like this music? Or maybe why do we not like it? All right, so enough delay. Let's listen. Okay, I think we're ready.
Right, I think we'll get straight on with it. This is called High Hopes. Beyond the horizon of the place we lived when we were young, in a world of magnets and miracles, our thoughts strayed constantly and without boundary. The ringing of the division bell had begun. Along the long road and on down the causeway.
Whoa, okay. I'm sort of already getting swept up in this quite a bit. First of all, I was thrown off by the beat with the bell. I thought it was on the beat, but then it was like off the beat, but then it was super off the beat, like bum, bum. So not like bum, bum, but like super syncopated on the end of the beat. And then the oddly placed little piano chords, and I don't know, there was just a lot of tension, anticipation. I don't know if I breathed for the whole first minute. I was just like, what's gonna happen? There's just something very sweeping with Pink Floyd. Sometimes it can start with something really simple and then you know it's coming and you just get swept away. So this is new. Like, after hearing all of Dark Side of the Moon, and feel free to check that out, the full album. I just did it one track at a time, but like only with 1 day or so in between. Some of those are released publicly, the rest are on Patreon or for channel members. I feel like I have really emotionally and intellectually connected with their soundscape. So I was sort of waiting for that to kick in, and wow, did it ever. And so just, immediate goosebumps here. All right, back it up. And let's hear that sweeping moment. Boy, that bell player is really getting a good workout there.
Along the long road and on down the causeway, do they still meet there by the cut? There was a ragged man that followed in our footsteps, running before time took our dreams away, leaving the myriad small creatures trying to tie us to the ground, to a life consumed by slow decay. The grass was green, the light was bright, with friends surrounding, the nights of wonder, looking beyond the embers of bridges glowing behind us, to a glimpse of how green it was on the other side. Steps taken forwards, but sleepwalking back again, dragged by the force of some inner tide. At a higher altitude, with flag unfurled.
All right. Yeah, that soundscape is there. Okay, so it's just so rich, and it just feeds off of the bass sound. Like, there is some music out there that is really grounded in the lower octaves, but there's something with Pink Floyd that sort of specializes in that. And I hear it in other bands, especially a lot of other prog rock bands, that they like to tinker with the upper octaves. And so when they hit the lower octaves, it's really impressionable, very memorable. But with Pink Floyd, they sort of base a lot of their music down there. And you would think it would be too much of a good thing, but it's not, at least not in my opinion. But I kind of favor some of the lower sounds, even though I'm a soprano and a violinist. I actually love the lower sounds, the cellos and basses, the trombones and the tuba, the lower sounds in an orchestra or bass vocalists. Nothing better than a good deep bass section in a choir. There's just something about it that it's more than just beautiful. It sort of makes you more in touch with your emotions. That's the best way I can describe it. It sort of resonates at a point where you just want to dive into memories and the emotions that go along with the music, and it just, again, it sweeps you up. So, I'm already swept up, as I said. The verse and the chorus, I'm still trying to figure out what this is about. Some of the visuals kind of help. So I saw like guitars floating away, and two jesters were sort of goofing around, maybe in a schoolyard or university or something. And so maybe it's like thinking about youth. So I talk about prog rock, but this is 95. So this is, 20 years after the prog rock movement, but it was also 30 years ago. Anyway, so they could be talking about their career and youth memories. Just a guess. Not sure what some of the other things are, though, like the balloons and okay, we'll get there. The grass is greener, though. Is that sort of like how we are trying to settle in life, as find home, basically? High hopes, is that what we're hoping for? High hopes for a good future. Okay. If so, this music fits that. Let's back it up a little bit into this next verse and continue on.
Dragged by the force of some inner tide, at a higher altitude, with flag unfurled, we reach the dizzy heights of that dreamed of world. forever by desire and ambition. There's a hunger still unsatisfied. Our weary eyes still stray to the horizon, though down this road we've been so many times. The grass was greener, the light was brighter, the taste was sweeter, the nights of wonder with friends surrounded, the dawn is glowing, the walls are flowing, the endless river, forever and ever.
Okay, I think we're headed hopefully into a solo section. But who's going to play it? Because I'm in love. David Gilmour on a classical guitar. When I finally noticed for real that he was on that instrument, I was like, oh, I don't know why. There is just something really beautiful about it. I get really sort of taken by his electric guitar playing. And so getting to see him on this acoustic, amplified acoustic guitar, I'm really happy about this. Okay. Whew. So, I got so many goosebumps there that I think it hurt. It was almost like, okay. The grass is greener. Things tasted sweeter. Okay. It's gotta be like reminiscing that everything kind of seemed better back in the day when you were young. And again, the music fits that sentiment. It really does. And so again, I'm hearing some of the Pink Floyd little fingerprints, as I call them. I heard a little bit of a bass, a little twangy ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. And then we hear the backup vocals, and there were some other string sounds in there too. And I'm not seeing a full orchestra there. Too bad. Missed opportunity. But I still love the addition of all of those sounds. It's part of that magical soundscape. Okay, something big is coming up. I'm going to back it up a little bit and get into this. Oh, okay, who's going to do the solo? Does he switch out, or does he do something on the classical guitar? Oh, okay. Here we go.
The endless river, forever and ever.
I'm almost speechless. Wasn't expecting that. So he put down the classical guitar and just jumped over to that instrument, dobro, slide guitar. I'm very well versed in all the orchestral instruments, but stage band instruments, I'm still getting there. So if you know exactly what that is, go ahead and let me know. Maybe I already got it. Maybe it's a dobro. Maybe not. That's cool. We'll figure it out. Whatever it was, I loved it. He already plays that way on a regular electric guitar. And so it's like his abilities are enhanced even further because he's got the slide and using, I was like, oh my goodness, yes, this needed to happen. David Gilmour needs to play this instrument. Yes, please. It was beautiful. And again, his demeanor when he plays is so calm, and he just like, meh, I'm playing, I just have this creativity that lives within me, and here it is for all to see. And it's artistry at its finest. A couple of the important moments, that right there, it was such a simple little melody and moment. But when that happened and then I heard it echoed in a couple of the other instruments, I was like, ooh, okay. Is that the point of absolute reflection that we've been trying to get to in our reminiscing? Where you kind of get to the end, like you kind of go down memory lane and you get to the end of the lane and you're like, oh, those were good memories. It's like we got to the summary. And again, that's just so simple. Those 4 little notes, but they just hit right here. Okay, then I did hear him switch over back to the classical guitar at the end, I think. And I was like, whoa, we got to hear him. I want to hear more of that too. I could have stayed here for another 5 minutes just listening to him solo on that instrument. So I think that's my only complaint about this is I wish we could have seen him more in the spotlight on the classical guitar. We need more of that. But the rest of it, I'm not going to complain one bit. It was fabulous. So I didn't know how it was going to start. Like when it started, I was like, it took me a while to sort of figure out what was up and down. But that's kind of like the experience when you're young. You're just getting out there and experiencing life. And you're like, okay, this is how it works. So that's sort of fitting. And then looking back on youth, young adulthood, the lyrics were beautiful. I noticed something about the light of dawn or something that was beautiful. Let me go back and I want to soak in some more of those. Okay, beyond the horizon of the place we lived when we were young in a world of magnets and miracles. I love that. Our thoughts strayed constantly and without boundary. The ringing of the division bell had begun. So, namesake of the album right there. Along the long road and on down the causeway, do they still meet there by the cut? To a life consumed by slow decay. Right. The grass was greener, the light was brighter, with friends surrounded the nights of wonder. We reached the dizzy heights of that dreamed of world. Beautiful. Our weary eyes still stray to the horizon, though down this road we've been so many times. And so the grass was greener, the light was brighter, the taste was sweeter. But then the dawn mist glowing, that's what I heard, the water flowing, the endless river forever and ever. And then a wonderful instrumental solo. So Beautiful words, beautiful soundscape. And this was all live. But I've sort of come to trust that Pink Floyd can deliver a live performance and stay pretty darn true to the studio version. And it's just such a joy to see David Gilmour. And this is just kind of a little trippy here, though, because in 1995, he's reminiscing about his youth. And here we are 30 years later. So, I don't know. I just think it's kind of an interesting perspective to sit in today for this. What does he think of this now, right? All right. Let's hear the beginning again. Let's hear that discomfort, trying to get our footing. See, it could be on the 1, 2, 1, 2. And then the piano comes in at some point. Oh yeah, strings. So that could be the offbeat. 1 and 2 and bum. That's what I was thinking. But no. I want to hear the switch again. There we go.
The horizon of the place we lived when we were young, in a world.
So the bass, boom, the bass brought us in there like that, and then all of a sudden it just straightened us out. So whatever we were thinking the world was going to be like, now we know what it actually is like. Part of the lessons in life. So I don't know if they meant to pull that little trick on us, but it's there to happen. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. And so I just think it's always interesting when someone writes something like that, where it can be interpreted in a different beat. They know it's going to happen. They don't mean for it, but they know it's going to happen. So I just think that's kind of a cool gesture. So that right there was something of interest. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. All right. Now the soundscape. How they developed this soundscape. I know that that is what this piece was composed for. So let's hear it. Get into it again.
Had begun along the long road and on down the causeway.
There.
Did they still meet there by the cut?
Yeah, just that right there. So bum, 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 bum. That bass line right there. They end up going down to the lowest one and repeating it. They could have gone bum, 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 but instead they went bum, 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 bum. That right there is almost uncomfortable because our ears don't necessarily want to hear that resolve too soon, but it goes there that soon. So it's really sitting in that bass soundscape. Let's keep going.
There was a ragged band that followed in our footsteps.
Yeah, see the
Running before
gestures.
time took our dreams away.
Floating guitars.
Leaving the
Tall
myriad
dudes.
small creatures trying to tie us to the ground.
Is that like
To a
businessmen?
life consumed by slow decay. The grass was green. The light was bright.
Love it. Oh, when it goes up. Oh, and even further down. Love it.
The nights of wonder.
Okay, so right there, I was just listening to the bass line, and they've got like 4 different instruments on that bass line. but it's so good. That's close to what it was, but it just sweeps you away. Okay. Oh, looking beyond the embers. See, every line in the subtitles here, they're all beautiful. This is just a beautiful piece of music. All right. I wish I could find the spot that had some of those good old-fashioned fingerprints of Pink Floyd. I'll see if I can try to find it, that neat little bass sound, a different bass sound than from what I was just doing.
Forever, by desire and ambition.
Okay, so listen to the bass guitar.
There's a hunger still unsatisfied.
That.
Our weary eyes still stray to the horizon.
And then do the singers come up soon?
We've been so many times.
I'm hearing them.
Grass was greener.
There they are.
The light was brighter. The taste was sweeter. The nights of wonder.
Wait. That's okay. I almost had that bass line before. Oh, okay. So yeah, that little twangy bass line and then the vocals that came in, that's something that I've come to know and love from Pink Floyd. And there it was. Very exciting. All right, let's move on to the solo section. Oh, but actually, before we get the slidey thing, I want to see the little bit of solo playing that he did, just a tiny bit here in the middle with the classical guitar. Like when I first realized he was on a classical guitar, I was like, oh. Can't hang on to the sustaining notes like he normally does, so he has to do more ornamentation. Love it. Oh, he does that so well. Look, gong, tam tam, awesome. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, he plays a classical guitar so well. He's not so noodly with all the ornamentation in his electric guitar playing, but he knows that he can't sustain everything as much, so he's got to fill in some of the ornamentation. He does it really well. And just how he how he shifts up from note to note. It's so well coordinated. Left and right hand coordination, it's wonderful. All right, now we're going to check out the other instrument because it was amazing. And it was a quick change. I was like, wait, who's playing that? Is it him? He was just on the other instrument. What's happening? He's got the sustained notes now. He might even be more comfortable with that. Yeah, he loves that. When are we going to hear that little motif? I think it was towards the end. 4 notes. It's just magic. The sliding in it, the closeness of each individual tone, and just restating it confidently like that. That's enough. That's all it takes to plant that seed for that motif. And it's quick. It could pass you by, at least how it was delivered in this moment. So you have to listen carefully to catch those little magical spots. Okay, that was High Hopes by Pink Floyd. And I definitely wasn't disappointed. I really, really enjoyed this song, and I am very excited to continue listening to it. So yeah, it's going to go directly on my playlist. Will I go ahead and just listen to the studio version? I might. But I do have 2 different playlists. I have like the live playlist, and then I have a studio playlist for things I listen to here on the channel. But yeah, I'm going to listen to this a lot. And where it falls in music by Pink Floyd, so I know over decades a group is going to evolve. Their sound is going to change. Some of the band members might change. But there's always something in there for us to sort of hang on to through the years. And so I am very comfortable with having heard Pink Floyd from 1973 and then hearing Pink Floyd in 1995 and listening to all of that in 2025. So it's a really magical journey with this music, and I am so pleased to be experiencing this. So thank you for coming along with me with this experience. If you want to experience other music with me, then be sure to like and subscribe. You can become a patron over on Patreon, or become a channel member, or support the channel on Ko-fi or through Throne. We've got lots of great things coming up in the new year, so very excited. But for now, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay and keep listening.